Good day, guys. Hope we good. Hope we good. Welcome to today's live trading session. On synthetics, I don't have anything except for C5, so we only have this running trade. Anticipating price to drop down probably to the 800 EMA. So first TP would be today's lows. Then second TP would be the 800 EMA right here. That's the only thing I have on synthetics. Jumping down to currencies, equity markets open. I've been having a buy bias on Nasdaq. So right now, what I wanted to see for me to actually execute the buys, or what I would love to see, would be price checking out either this low here, which is the London low, maybe potentially come back into the zone again, or price actually running up and breaking this high from yesterday, creating a flip zone here for buys. That's my current view. If we decide to sell, I don't think I've got a sell view, but let's just quickly do multi-time frame analysis. So you can see long term, I'll be waiting for sells long term. So price has to come into this imbalance here, which is a target right there for our buys. So if we can get a buy, I would be happy to hold it until this fair value gap, which is around 14,983, depending with your broker, or you can just say 15,000, which is the whole number. That's our target. That's my current view. So I'm leaning mainly to look for buys. This price action right here is for buys. In the 4-hour. I don't think they'll come back below here. Well, it's possible that they could come back and touch. Possible. We don't want to say it's impossible, but this is the current view. So I would have a buy setup looking something like this, or the 1:5 from a higher time frame, but going down to a smaller time frame. Okay, so we're leaning on buys. We need reasons to buy. H3, I don't have anything to use there. Okay, so H2, my setup will be outside this range. That's where my setup will be, outside today's highs, like I said earlier. That's where a confirmed buy will be. So again, it will be nice if we can get a sweep of this liquidity here. Then we can have a nice buy. Then we can just adjust this risk to reward based on where we enter. But otherwise, that's our view. We're looking for longs, or personally, I'm looking for longs. If my view on the longs doesn't get respected, then I won't execute any trades today. So let's see how price goes. Equities open with 5 minutes into the stock market open. See if there's any news on ease. Now this 6 days ago. These are just trade ideas. Okay. Stick to our view. So this is M15. I need a sweep. A form of a sweep of liquidity would make me happy to actually execute. So again, we could say, okay, from this low, you can see we broke a structure, right? Came to the previous day's highs. So price, this could be a retest of the zone. So price could actually be in motion. They might not come back down to sweep that low. So let's just check on the M1. Let's see how we go here. So I'm just paying attention to this. We could potentially, okay, these guys, if we see price break this low, then definitely we come in for this liquidity on the bottom. So there's about 34, 35 points to that low. It's actually executable if a person knows what they're doing. That's very executable. So let's see. Again, remember, it's NFP tomorrow. So usually the day before NFP, the market is usually flat. Market is usually flat. So it's also good not to trade today. There's nothing wrong with that. Always good to protect your capital. You can see it's also even rare to get like less volume like this, especially when the stock market opens. But you can see there hasn't been like much of a price change, just ranging within like 40 points. All right, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Okay, M15. Just also want to pay attention to the M15 candle, especially on how it closes. But we should be able to get a good setup. A possible scalp, since it's the day prior to NFP, price will just be flat. If we can get a possible scalp, then we will execute. Let me just check here. What am I missing? Okay, there we go. Possible scalp happening right now. Active on sales. Active on sales. Right, so let's see. Are we coming down to that liquidity on the bottom side? Are we active on sales? Let's see how low we can go. So your stop loss, this is a scalp, so it all depends with how you want to put your stop loss or how you want to manage this trade. So we're saying price can potentially come to, it's actually that level there. Okay, it's actually that level there. Stop loss on the previous candle, which broke. So it's almost a 1 to 3 trade. We entered at the break here, quick scalp. Hey, let me just do this so that the prices are closer. See how it goes. Okay, what could we be coming back into? Price looks balanced until we get here. Yeah, I think we'll get to our TP. It looks like it. We are almost there. Almost on TP. Okay, so we've got an imbalance there. We also have this imbalance here. So let's just see if price will still want to pull back, but it's almost on the TP or it was almost on the TP. So how you manage this trade is all up to you, because sometimes you can choose to close when price is still a few pips. Nothing wrong with that. You can also close half your trade when your price is like halfway through. Take out 50% of the trade out, maybe break even the stop loss, so that you walk away with something in case price wants to do something like this. So that's like part of trade management. And also there's nothing wrong with closing the whole position here, because there was literally like 3 points, 4 points to TP. Doesn't make really much of a difference considering that the entry was pristine and there was like much to gain. So you can also choose to close when your price is right near the TP, manually close your trade. There's nothing wrong with it. So let's see what happens. So remember, if that liquidity is taken on the bottom, we are looking for possible longs. We are looking for reasons to buy. We are looking for reasons to buy. Let's see what happens to this trade. Okay, looking to the far left, I would say probably it was an error on my part, because you see this low here, that could also be a target right there. You see price actually tapped into it. So there was also nothing wrong with it. Having that is the target, because there's like liquidity below that level there. So it's all about looking to your left-hand side. So this was the current New York low. Okay. This here was the current New York low. So if price is coming down, you know that it's going for this liquidity, and it's also going for the liquidity which we spotted from M15. Okay, I think our TP is beneath this liquidity here, which is the London lows. That's where price is heading. So all you need to know is where is your price going. You can see how it touches right on our line and it just sort of like reflects off it. So remember, if you're trading and you have your setup, always take profit where you say you're going to take profit. Being greedy is fine in certain circumstances, but you do not want to give back what you make to the dealer or to the markets, especially if you know that you should have exited here or you should have exited here. So you can see now its price is sort of like really aggressively bouncing off there and pulling back. So you want to scale out, break even, manage your trade in such a way that your emotions are not affected by the end outcome of a trade. Let's see. So if this trade is good, we don't really have to chase. Again, this is like for day trading. If you've missed the first trade, then we can look for buys together. But again, once you take a trade, and it's profitable, there's no need to keep chasing the price. There's no need to keep trading, especially if you've reached your target. It's pretty much pointless to continue trading. Pretty much pointless, because most of the time you end up giving back to the market. Because remember, after a good trade, you get excited, your adrenaline is high, and you feel like you're the god of the markets, and you actually know how to trade and you're killing it. But what happens is if you continue chasing price, these markets, they have no mercy. You end up losing what you've made. You literally end up losing what you've made. So this setup was successful. Successful setup there. Awesome stuff. So I hope you guys learned something just coming and knowing what you're anticipating and executing. That's all. It's not a much and trying to keep it simple. So as you can see, this was a clean chart, but I can try to explain the same setup using BTMM quickly. So on BTMM, okay, I was looking at EU here. On BTMM, let's go to Nasdaq. This is to just show you that all strategies work. Okay, before I explain this, let me actually update in the group as well. So we've got a WhatsApp group where we just share free setups, insights, analysis, that kind of thing. Okay, done. Okay, so I wanted to explain this setup on BTMM so that you just understand that no matter what strategy you are using, as long as you know what you're looking for, it can be a naked chart, can be indicators, can be whatever. As long as you know what you're looking for, it sort of becomes a bit easier. Um, Okay, this is my FTM trial. You can see there was actually a buy there which I didn't close, but I think I'll leave it running because this is like a big count. It was a buy in anticipation of that long-term buy. I'll just let it run. Maybe should I close it? Okay, let's see. We don't want to get confused because we've got a long-term view and we've got a short-term view. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to manage that trade. You can see I'm managing it on my phone. Okay, let me just check how each one is looking. Okay, we don't want to confuse anything here. So I closed everything. So let's explain this sell, right, based on BTMM. So looking at this price action, we know we're looking forward to sell. The first thing we want to notice, or the first thing you have to highlight, is price created a peak on the previous day's high, which is right here. Then we broke, structure came back, retested. This was actually another setup, even though it was outside our trading time. Then what you notice now is price came into this order block here, and they created a peak. Okay, soon as price creates a peak, the thing you look for is a break in structure and a reason to actually sell. So we broke our structure there, even though price didn't retrace up to where we anticipated. We had certain information which actually allowed us to take the sells and to actually hit a certain target without waiting for the retracement. That was explained here. So when I was entering this setup here, you can recheck my my mind state at this point. My reasons for selling this, it wasn't a long-term sell. This was a scalp sell. And we just said, okay, 330 stock market open, what's going on? That's the order block we had. Without even using the order block, you can see this particular liquidity was taken out here. Then we had a nice shift candle here, and we were saying, okay, this is our zone which we're looking at on a smaller time frame. So if we were to break going up, I was going to look for buys. And if we break here going low, I know where price is most likely to go, which is an area of liquidity on the M15, right? So if I can target the last area on a smaller time frame or on a micro time frame, then I can still execute the trade because I know price is good, high probability of actually what going down since it is broken out of here. So our entry was just like that, even though we sort of anticipated a pullback here or maybe a pullback here, which is also possible, but the sell just played out quick. So what are we anticipating next? I don't really like to anticipate price into the future, but looking at what I was looking at, I'm still looking for possible buys, maybe if the zone is respected. So now remember, price is now taking out the London lows, and there's high chance we can still retrace up. That's so possible, but the fact that we've taken a trade and we've been successful, 1:3, there's no need for us to continue trading. This price can do whatever now. They can continue melting or they can go up. Whatever they do, we've taken our fair share of the pie with timing. So now, yes, we could buy, but for me to have like a safe buy, again, I would say I want price to break outside this flip zone, which is yesterday's highs, today's highs. We break, retest, and we push up. But remember, this NFP, like I said, usually the markets are flat the day before NFP. So if you don't have a trade or a setup, do not trade. So price can still go sideways within this range. You can only trade if you know exactly what you're looking for. Again, if you also notice here, we had this imbalance, this is M15 now. So price retraced after breaking this structure, after taking out this Asian highs here and tapping into yesterday's high, slightly passing it. Bearish move, leaves an imbalance, comes and taps into the imbalance and an order block. This is also a breaker block. There's like many reasons for us to have sold this, but I just try to simplify it. So the results of this will be posted in the group. I'll try to put the WhatsApp group link maybe on the channel description so that people can just join and see for themselves. Because I execute on my phone and I share the insights on the WhatsApp group. So I hope today's session was productive. It was just short and sweet. We came to the charts, we got our setup 1:3, we executed. It's not my normal setup. Remember, usually when we trade Nasdaq, I usually aim for 50 points. So 50 points, we could still have taken 50 points if we had held a two somewhere here. But the way the setup was laid out, I was happy with taking profit here, which was 1:3, and it was about 30 points. So hope today's session helped somebody. It's the same thing we look for every day. Just come, get your buyers, know what you're looking for. Yes, we're leaning on buys, but if I understand where price is going before it buys, I can still execute as long as my risk to reward ratio allows me to, or as long as my risk to reward ratio is favorable. Hence, I executed and sell. So let's meet tomorrow. I think we're going to plug in for NFP, or rather after NFP, that's when we're going to trade. So have a good one, guys. If you have questions or something you need to know, just hit me up on my WhatsApp, then we can talk. Anything Forex related. So if you are to buy this, again, you just need to look for a pattern. Price is coming down, yes. It's coming down. So we need a certain structure to be broken first. Then price retraces into something before we take longs. It's just as simple as that. If you don't see a pattern or some structure get broken, then that means there is no buy setup. Price will simply continue dropping or it will just go sideways. Just try to keep it simple and everything will be cool. And don't be greedy. Aim for what you know you can get. Take your pips and exit. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, share if this was helpful. Have a good day.